Okay, can we start, guys? Am I audible to all of you? Can you just message me? Is the voice is loud and clear? Okay, okay, guys, we'll start. So we will start with the next chapter. We will be moving to the fifth chapter. The fourth one is the thinkers that we will come back after this. Okay, so the chapter 5 is related to stratification. So we will try to understand what the concept of stratification. So here you will be getting questions related to what is stratification, and then there are theories related to stratification. So that is the reason why I am starting with this before we start with thinkers. So I will be introducing to you some of the theories. Okay, so you will be getting that flavor of the sociological theory, and you will come to know that these theories are very simple. Only the name look difficult, and the theories are actually simple. So we will start with theories. We have three theories: functional theory is there, then Weberian theory is there, Marxian theory is there. But Weberian theory and Marxian theory we can discuss along with Weber and Marx, so that overlapping is there. We can make things very simple. So we will be discussing the functional theories here. When I talk about functional theories, you might be thinking about Durkheim, but related to stratification, we don't want to study about Durkheim. So we will be studying theories by Parson, and then Warner, and then Davies and Moore, out of which Davies and Moore theory is going to be very important for us. So that is what we are going to focus on. Apart from that, when we discuss about stratification, we will look into what you mean by inequality. And I'll also tell you what is the difference between inequality and stratification. Okay, if you are thinking that inequality and stratification are one and the same, there are overlaps and the conceptual clarity is required, right? So that we will try to make it clear today itself. What is the difference? And then, yeah, Merton is also a functionalist. Merton is considered as the father of neo-functionalism because Merton is not like a normal functionalist. Okay, some new elements have added to the functional approach. So what Merton did is he have taken all the theories and thinkers which is related to functionalism, like Comte, Spencer, Malinowski, Radcliffe Brown, Parson, Durkheim, and identified some of the negatives or the drawbacks of these thinkers, and then he improved over it. So we will be studying about Merton later. I don't understand why you are asking about Merton here. I did not mention about Merton. I talked about Parson. Okay. So we will try to see inequality and how inequality becomes stratification. Then what are the different types of stratification? I'll talk about this one, open system, and then closed system of stratification. We will try to make it clear what is open system, what is closed system. Okay, right now you don't bother about all these things. Let's go in depth of it in this session itself. And then we will discuss about dimensions of stratification. If you have attended yesterday's that question answer session, then you might have heard these words that I'm using, right? Dimensions: gender, class, ethnicity, race, caste. These are different dimensions of stratification. For example, if you see in this class itself, we can have stratification based on different dimensions. There is stratification based on gender, caste, class, okay, age-based stratification is there. So, but before telling about these dimensions, you need to understand what is stratification. Before that, there is no point in talking about all these, right? So let's first understand that, and then we will go to the dimensions. Then there is a concept of mobility. What is the mobility? Mobility is the movement. So upward movement, downward movement. So that is what you call a social mobility. Okay, we will see that what are the possibilities, what are the avenues of mobility, what are the hindrances to mobility. All these things we will see in this particular chapter. Very important chapter that you will understand if you would have attended yesterday's session. How many questions we got yesterday in that 2019 paper? 220 markers, 210 markers, just from this much concept only, whatever we have discussed now. From that, you got around 60 marks, right? So you need to give utmost importance to this particular chapter. Very important. So let's understand what is stratification. Okay, guys. So when you talk about stratification, we will first try to understand what is inequality. Okay. See, every society, if you take, or between individuals, there may be differences. Okay. So you will see differences among people when we talk about male and female. There is a difference. That what is that difference? There is a biological difference. So the differences can be natural or social. So when I say natural difference, one example that I've given to you now, that biological, aspect, right? The male, female, that sex, that is a difference based on sex. So that is natural. So that is an example of natural difference. The difference can be social also. Can you guys give me an example for a social difference? Difference. I'm talking about difference. Difference doesn't involve any superiority, inferiority, anything. Just a difference. This is one thing, that is other thing. Okay. Rich, poor. Okay. Rich, poor is not that. Caste, class, all these are not difference. Those involve some kind of values and inequality. See, guys, when I say difference, it involves the dress styles, dressing patterns in, let's say, North India and South India. It's a difference. The housing pattern in North India, South India. It's a difference, right? And these kind of food habits, right? All these are difference. Now, what you are talking about, I don't understand even, Tanya, why you are talking about ethnicity and age. You're a sociology student already. You've done your sociology, and why you are talking about this? That is not difference. Difference means there is no superiority or inferiority. Two things are different there. So food style in North India, South India is different. I'm not talking about, can I say that North Indian food is superior than the South Indian food? No, nobody is thinking about that. Same is the case with housing pattern, dressing styles. So these are differences. Differences are not inequality. Why it is not inequality? You will realize it now. If there is an inequality, there has to be some more conditions which need to be attached to this. So these are differences. Dressing style of North India, South India, this is not inequality, right? Way of living also. See, now when it will become inequality, that is what you need to understand. These are differences. Differences can be natural. That means like the sex, if you talk about, it's a clear case of natural difference. Okay, black, white, is that difference? Guys, black, white, is that difference? It's a difference, right? Natural difference, right? So the color is a natural difference. Okay, but related to sex, is there any inequality? Yes, we will see that later. Related to color, is there any inequality? Yes, we will see that later. So we need to understand how these differences become inequality. So when you are born as different. There is no inequality. Is there any superiority or inferiority when you're born? No, right? But over a period of time, what happened is, with these differences, some values are attached to these differences. Now, you guys know what is value. We have discussed in the chapter on objectivity and value neutrality in depth. Tell me, guys, what do you mean by value? Values are certain beliefs and ideas that we carry in our mind, based on which we decide the superiority, inferiority, preferability, rejection, desirability, undesirability of anything. So we have an idea that is there in our mind, how it came and how it established in our mind, how the culture is evaluating and everything. We will see that there is a process. Okay, but when you see these differences, these are just differences. But when values are imposed, what values? Let me write it here: superiority, inferiority, preferability, rejection, desirability, undesirability. Then these differences become inequality. So when I say sex, there is no inequality there. Okay, it's a biological difference. But when I use the word gender, that is what I need to discuss. There is an element of value which is involved in that. So there is an element of inequality. Suppose you are living in a patriarchal society. What kind of value you have? Patriarchal value. That's what the patriarchal mindset, right? So then male child is considered superior, or male is considered superior. Male child is preferred, and male child is desirable. So the values attached with the female and values attached with the male is different. So those are the kind of values are attached. Female is considered inferior, rejected, and undesirable. So what happens now? Now it creates inequality between male and female. Otherwise, these are just remaining as differences. When you're born, it's not that you're born unequal. When you're born different. Same is the case with black and white, right? over a period of time, when you're attaching values, these superior values, supremacy values to the whites, then create inequality. So are you guys getting this point? Differences are natural as well as social. It can be natural as well as social, but inequality is always socially created. Why it is always socially created? Because it definitely requires imposition of value. It's about you are creating that inequality when you attach values to the differences. The differences are normal. When you're born different. That's what male, female, right? There is a biological difference, but that doesn't mean that any superiority or inferiority. But later, then there are some steps also for this, like differentiation, ranking, rewarding, evaluation, and all these different steps are there. I'll come to that steps, how it is created. But as of now, I hope you guys have understood what is the main difference between differences and inequality. But don't say differences and inequalities are the same. Differences are there. It can be natural or social. Natural differences, what I've given you, sex and color and all these things. Social difference are the way you dress, okay, the way you eat, the food habits, the housing patterns, all these are differences. But can I say any superiority or inferiority with respect to any of this? Like North Indian housing patterns is better than South Indian housing pattern. Can we say like that? No, right? We won't say. So over a period of time, when you are attaching some values to these differences, it creates inequality. It becomes inequality. So this is how inequalities are formed. So can I say all inequalities are socially created? Yes. Why? Because inequality involves imposition of value. You attach value to the differences. Okay, then only it becomes or it creates inequality. So differences may be natural or social, inequalities are always social. Within this class also, we will see a lot of different types of inequality. Even among individuals, every individual you take, there can be differences, there can be inequality. Okay, so age, there may be difference. You and me are different age. But if the society is telling that seniors are considered more superior because they have technical knowledge or they have knowledge and they have other things and all, so they require respect and all, then what does that mean? That create inequality, right? That is in a traditional society. Modern society, that is not a big deal. But I'm saying this, differences are there. That difference will become inequality when there is values are attached to it. Okay, so the differences may be natural or social, but inequality is always social. Now, guys, if I want to study inequality, is it possible for any sociologist to study each and every instances of inequality? No, right? N number of different inequalities you will see. Between two people also you will see inequality. Maybe income is different, right? So it is impossible for anyone to study each and every instances of inequality. So what the sociologists will do to understand inequality is they'll try to identify a pattern. Let's try to classify this type of inequality into this pattern. So if you can observe a pattern, female, male, there is a pattern, right? Same way, upper caste, lower caste, there is a pattern. Upper class, lower class, there is a pattern. Younger age, middle age, older age, there is a pattern, right? So these groups show certain kind of characteristics. So you can pattern, you can consider that as a particular pattern. You can categorize. Pattern means you can categorize into some group. So what you will do is, for the purpose of analysis, for the purpose of study, patterns of inequalities are identified. That means when I say pattern, I am identifying a pattern where the group members showing similar characteristics. Like when I talk about Brahmins, they all show the same characteristics. When I say Kshatriyas, they show the same characteristics. When I say middle class, all guys, but there are within that also there are a lot of differences. But we will make, for example, when we say upper class, middle class, lower class, this is one pattern, this is another pattern, this is another pattern. So this is what? Stratification. So differences lead to inequality when values are imposed. Inequality, if it is patterned, that's what stratification. So this is a stratification. Why? This is inequality which is patterned. This is one pattern, this is another pattern, this is another pattern. You can see a common characteristics. Okay, so I hope this is clear. So differences, inequality, stratification. Differences, you attach value to that, it becomes inequality. Inequalities, if you see in a pattern, that's what stratification. So can I say all stratifications are based on some kind of inequality? Can I say that? All stratification are based on some kind of inequality. When I say stratification, that definitely involve inequality. Yes or no? Yes. Yes. Okay. Because when I say stratification, obviously it comes of inequality. Can I say all inequality will lead to stratification? Can I say all inequality will lead to stratification? No. Why? Why? Pattern. You need pattern. So you need to observe a pattern. That's when you can consider it as stratification. So I hope this is very clear to all of you guys. There's a most important point that you need to understand with respect to stratification. Once you've done this, then things are getting very simple. Okay, so let me show you like this. So we have differences. These differences will become inequality. So this inequality can form stratification. Now tell me what I need to add here. Here, differences become inequality when? Value. When you impose values. What are the different values? You need to explain that also. Superiority, inferiority, preferability, rejection, and desirability, undesirability, etc. What I need to add here, inequality to stratification. You need a pattern. So will you be able to write this entire thing in a paragraph or not? Guys, do you want to read the PDF or will you be in a position to write it from your side or not? Okay, so it should be like this, guys. Once you have that clarity, then there is no need to just mugging it up, right? So the way I speak, if you can write in that way, that is going to be really good. Okay, so that will give you the confidence as well. Okay, now guys, how this stratification is created. There are some steps and how this is maintained. Let's try to understand some steps. The first step is differentiation. Okay, so differentiation means there exist some differences. Simple, it can be natural, it can be social. So there exist some differences. Obviously, that is the first thing. Now the second step is ranking. So as I've told you, there are differences. Then what will happen is over a period of time, let's say male, female. So based on these differences, you will be giving some roles based on the differences. Because female cannot take all roles, right? Male cannot take all roles. So male will do certain kind of jobs or roles. Female do certain kind of roles or jobs. Okay, so based on the differences, first step, based on differences, certain roles are attached. What will happen is over a period of time, you will start comparing the roles that you're performing. Okay, so I'm a male and I will tell the female counterpart or the other person that I'm doing the most difficult job. I am a masculine person and I can do this kind of activity. You will not be able to do that. So what will happen is over a period of time, comparison between these roles are starting. So you will start comparing the roles or the jobs or the tasks that you're performing, and you will try to see one is better than the other. So what will happen is over a period of time, among the individuals, among these normal people, there will be comparison and then there will be ranking will be coming. Like I'm doing better occupation and I'll be ranked at the top. So this is a kind of informal ranking among the people. Okay, the third step is evaluation. So second step, informal ranking among the common people. In the third step, that ranking will become formalized and institutionalized. The evaluation, the individual level evaluation and the comparisons that you have done, slowly, it will be started at the cultural level also, at the societal level also. Something which has happened at micro level, now will happen at the macro level. Entire society will start comparing. Yeah, these roles are superior over the other. So the entire society start believing that. Entire society will try to compare that. Entire society will evaluate that. And then it becomes, when the society, everybody started doing that, then this ranking will become formalized and institutionalized. That's accepted as a fact. And it will, it will be transmitted to the next generation also. That's what cultural transmission. So it becomes part of the culture. That's how the patriarchal values are forming. And then that will be transmitted. And then the last step was rewarding. In fact, this is the reason why stratification is maintained. Rewarding means those who are doing these good jobs or good roles or superior roles will be rewarded more. Okay, so that will actually help in continuing or perpetuating, or this will help in continuing that stratification, that system. So I hope you guys got these 4 steps as well. Yeah, I'll repeat. Difference, there is no problem, right? In natural difference or social difference or whatever it is. This is the first step, okay? But based on these differences, you will be assigning certain roles, like males, male, female, they do certain jobs, roles. Slowly, individuals started making comparison between the roles that they're performing. And they will say something is superior over the other at the individual level. That's why I told it is informal rank order will be created. Then it will happen at the cultural level. This evaluation will happen at the cultural level. That means the entire society tend to accept these as the values, and it will be formalized, then institutionalized, and will be transmitted to the next generation. And then it will be continuing because of the system of rewarding. Those who are doing the better jobs, they will be getting rewards, and then that will actually help. Rewards means better job, better payment, and all these things. And that will help in continuing the system. Okay. So these are the 4 steps that we need to know. Now we will see what are the different types of stratification, open, close, the dimensions and everything. But let me complete this PDF now. And after that, I'll move to that. Okay, so once we're done with the PDF, things are going to be very simple for all of you. So I'll repeat, differences become inequality when you impose values. Inequality becomes stratification when there is a pattern. So all stratification are based on some kind of inequality. One stratification, upper class, lower class, middle class, inequality is there. Caste, Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, inequality is there. Okay, so all stratification based on inequality, because inequality patterned is what stratification. But not all inequalities lead to stratification. Okay, pattern, I've told you how many times I've told you already, and I've given an example also. Pattern means something which is showing some common characteristics. Okay, pattern, you can identify a pattern. Like middle class, their lifestyle is almost similar. Their expenses, the kind of salary that they're getting, their aspirations, all these are similar characteristics. That's a pattern. Even in this class, if you see the number of students and the type of students, there is a common pattern which you can see. Okay, guys, let's so these are the topics that we will be covering. See, inequalities need to be seen as pattern. Okay, once you identify a pattern, let's say middle class, that is a pattern. Within that, we don't want to see any inequality. But within middle class also, if you want, you can further divide into what? Middle class, we can further divide into upper middle class, middle class, lower middle class. So if you ask me within this pattern, is there further pattern? Yes, there can be. Okay. Okay. So these are the topics that we're going to see. Social mobility, anyway, that is the last topic. Social inequality, I hope this is clear. How inequality becomes stratification, exclusion, poverty, deprivation, hierarchy. These are the dimensions, they're the theories, social mobility. These are questions, direct questions you're getting. Okay. So social inequality, every society based on differences on the basis of various attributes which characterize our social life. These attributes are either natural or socially created. Thus, the whole society is composed of people having natural or social differences. These differences are not only seen at the individual level, but also seen at the level of groups. It's okay. That is not an essential sociology. I haven't seen that, but this is the order that you need to follow. First, it has to be informal, and then only it will become formalized. Okay. Now, if you are taking essential sociology as a Bible, then I have nothing to say. I've told you already that it's a guide. You have to take it in that way. So if your mentor is saying something different, you have to follow that either, or you have to go with that. In every society, some values are attached to some of these differences. Okay, so with the difference, you will attach certain values. So once the values are imposed to it, then it will create inequality. What are the values? These are the values, right? Superiority, inferiority, preferability, rejection, desirability, undesirability. Just write that, okay? But in case if you want to explain what is values, that also you can do in one line. That's not necessary because we have more content to write here. The attachment of these values results in social evaluation of these differences. So once you attach values, then evaluation will happen. That lead to inequality. Thus, nature produce differences, but man create inequality. Are we okay with that much, guys? Rather, the differences are natural or social, but inequalities are always social. Social inequalities exist in every society, either at the level of individual or at the level of group. There are certain inequalities which are not felt at the local level, but their presence is felt at the level of whole society. It means that the whole society tend to accept these inequalities as a standard of evaluation. It is virtually impossible for us to study each and every instance of individual or group inequality. Thus, for the purpose of analysis of a society, patterns of inequalities are identified, which are present at the level of whole society, not the individual level. Between you and me, nobody is interested, right? But between a group, if you take, then sociologist or anyone is interested. These patterns of inequalities is termed as stratification. Thus, every social stratification is based on inequality. Guys, whatever I have underlined, whatever I have written like this, these are the keywords which must be there in your answer. You cannot ignore this at any cost, okay? But not every instances of social inequalities can be understood as stratification. What is required? Pattern is required. In simple terms, social stratification can be defined as a system of social ranking in the form of stratas involving relations of superiority and inferiority. The term is borrowed from geology. It's a mental construct and an analytical tool to visualize the pattern of inequalities in the form of strata, because it's a mental construct, right? It is not physical object. Stratas are considered to be ranked. That means a particular hierarchical order exists in these stratas. Anything if you take, for example, when you talk about Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, there's a ranking order, right? Similarly, upper class, middle class, lower class, there is ranking. So stratas are understood to be ranked. That means a hierarchical order is present. Further, apart from understanding inequality, social stratification also become the basis for understanding the distribution of rewards, privileges, benefits in the society. Thus, the process of stratification can be understood in 4 stages: differentiation, ranking, evaluation, and rewarding. Even if you interchange it, it's okay. That's not compulsorily you need to follow exactly the same steps. Even you can say evaluation at the second, and you can simply say if there will be an informal evaluation happen at the individual level, because in ranking also evaluation is there, right? And then see, in the second one also, even though I have named it as ranking, I'm talking about evaluation and I'm telling that informal ranking. Here, evaluation and say, but why I have written evaluation here is because it's an evaluation done at the cultural level. Here, even though I talked about evaluation that at the individual level, so I'm not that much concerned about that evaluation. Okay, so it's okay even if you're interchanging, but make it very clear that here it is at the informal level, here it is at the formal level, which will be institutionalized. Anyway, in the second case also, even if you're writing evaluation, you will be talking about ranking. Here, even if you're writing evaluation, you will be talking about ranking. Okay, so do you think that I need to read this differentiation? Okay, it involves the presence of social or natural differences which are recognized in society. Difference in terms of sex, race, income, which exist in every society. These differences are often assigned certain positions or roles. For example, on the basis of sex, certain roles are assigned. Then ranking, right? The difference in terms of attributes or the given roles will seldom remain objective. What will happen? A comparison between these differences and the roles performed will start, which will result into an emergence of a very vague, informal, unrecognized rank order. This ranking especially takes place at the individual level, not at the societal level. Then evaluation. There's a cultural evaluation, which is happening at the level of culture, macro level. The first one is micro. The rank order is further strengthened and formalized through the process of evaluation done at the cultural level. Slowly, the individual comparisons forms part of this value system of the whole culture. At this level, due to cultural evaluation, rank order becomes formalized and institutionalized. Okay, guys. Then the fourth one, the evaluation is then transmitted from one generation to the other through cultural reproduction. And this finally results in strengthening of rank order in the form of value system that forms the value system of the society. On the basis of differentiation, ranking, and evaluation, the hierarchy will be created, stratas will be created, and these stratifications are supported by the perpetuative mechanisms which are existing in societies. Apart from cultural reproduction, there are system of rewards and punishments. Here, punishment means the rewards means the better wages, better amenities that the top getting, and punishment means lower wage, lower facilities, and everything. Privileges, disabilities are attached to the stratas. This helps not only in continuation but also in further strengthening the hierarchy. That you will understand much better when we discuss about the actual theory on Davis and more. Now, guys, we will look into these dimensions of stratification. So when we see the dimensions of stratification, okay, so we need to see the two different types of stratification. Okay, so the first one is the open system, and then we have the closed system. Now, guys, we are trying to understand the types of stratification based on the possibility of mobility. Even though mobility we are going to discuss towards the end in detail, but here let me quickly tell you what is mobility. Mobility means movement of people. Okay, I'm talking about vertical movement. So in open system, the movement is possible. Like you born as a poor person, you can become a rich person, right? So that means movement is possible. So open system means there is a possibility of mobility. What is an example, typical example? Can anyone type it faster? One example, give me. Just now I've told. What system? Which system I've told now? Class system, right? Class, like I've told you, I'm born as a poor, but I can be a rich person and I can die as a rich person, right? Class. Closed system means what? Then the opposite. Mobility is not possible. You born as this, you end, you die, you will be ending as that itself. Example, caste. Okay, so you born as a Brahmin, you die as a Brahmin, right? Then same is the case with any other caste as well. So I hope you understood. These are the two types of stratification, open and closed. Okay, gender. Guys, sex and gender, you need to use this very carefully. So sex means it's a biological difference. Gender is a social difference. So when we will not say sex as a dimension of stratification, we'll say gender as a dimension of stratification. So we need to be very careful when you're using these terms, okay? Even normally when you're writing, it is actually the difference if you're talking about, for example, if you're talking about application forms and all, it has to be sex, it should not be gender. But even in government application forms itself, it is gender, you can see mostly. Okay, so what about gender? Is it open or closed? It is closed. Okay, so gender, it is closed. What about race? Race, it is, who's saying it is open? Race, it is closed. Okay, so gender, some of you may say that it is open, but theoretically, we use this, right? Theoretically and practically. So theoretically, it is closed. But practically, there are situations. If you want to change your gender, you can change that because of scientific advancements and technology and all those things. But guys, one more point that I want to tell us, you talk about types, you talk about open system, you talk about closed system, you give example for open as class, you give example for closed as caste. But now, listen this very carefully. Even though class system is considered theoretically open, but practically, there are a lot of hindrances. Do you think all the people who born as a poor person will be ending as rich person? No, right? Is there equal possibility for a son of a poor person and son of a rich person to move forward? No, right? There are a lot of advantages. He's getting a head start. in terms of healthcare, in terms of education, in terms of all amenities and everything, right? So this is a line which you need to be very careful, and you need to write that also. Even though theoretically class system is considered as open, practically there are a lot of hindrances. This one line need to be there. Okay. Secondly, caste system. Even though caste system is considered theoretically closed, but practically there are possibilities to change the caste. You will be learning some concepts like Sanskritization in paper 2. Okay, I'm not going to discuss that now. Sanskritization simply means you are you may be a lower caste, but you migrate to some area and you will claim that you are an upper caste, and automatically this detailed discussion I'll do in paper 2, guys. Okay, just remember there is a possibility. Similarly, there is something called as hypergamy. Hypergamy means it is only applicable to female through marriage, because even in marriage also, husband's the status will not change, only wife's status will change. So let's say Brahmin Kshatriya woman marrying Brahmin boy, so her status will improve. That's what hypergamy or anuloma. On the other hand, Brahmin girl marrying Kshatriya male, her status comes down. So that is what hypogamy or pratiloma, the negative term. Pratiloma, hypogamy. So what I want to tell you is, even if you consider caste as closed, but still there is possibility or avenues for mobility. So you need to tell clearly, theoretically open, practically hindrances. Theoretically closed, practically there are possibilities. You guys got that point? Okay. Same as what I've told in case of gender, but race, we don't talk about that. Anyway, race is declared illegal in every country. So, okay, let's move to the PDF and we will see what are the dimensions. So what I'm giving here when we discuss about dimensions is, we mainly talk about class, we talk about caste, we talk about gender, we talk about age, we talk about race, ethnicity, all these we will discuss. But the detailed discussion, you guys can expect questions on each of these as given in the C4 module, which you need to get from that AWP section. Okay, it is attached with the AWP section, and also the video sessions are given on each of these. You have to do that yourself. But here I'm just basically whatever is important, I'm just giving in bullet points. You need to elaborate on that. Whatever elaboration and detailed discussion is required is given in that, the format of answer, the content, and the video, everything is there. Again, it is impossible for me to discuss each and every point, right? So that is why here I briefly discuss all these, but everything is attached to you. You can see that. Okay, so this is what it is always argued that every society is based on some patterns of stratification on the basis of different criteria. Different types of stratification systems can, on the basis of different criteria, different systems can be identified. These types also can be understood in the form of most commonly understood dimensions, on the basis of which the social inequalities are identified. Every types of social stratification is based on some dimension. Now tell me, guys, what are the different types of stratification we can identify in this class? Class is there or not? Most importantly, class. Then age, right? We can say there are students from 18 to 22. Out of you, there are 3-4 who still in graduation also attending the session. So they are in 18 to 22. 22 to 30, yes, and then 30 to 35. These are the range, right? So age is there. Then class, age, caste. Caste is there. No. Why are you talking about all these? Even this is your color, race in India. Region. Is that stratification? What were you doing till now when I was taking all these, session? South, north, is that stratification? Okay, every types of social stratification is based on some dimension. Yeah, gender. So we have gender, we have caste, we have age, we have class. That means a multi-dimensional pattern of inequality, which you can see here. Region is not, language is not. Okay, these are not stratification because we don't consider these as inequality. Color, race, we don't consider in India. Okay, culture we may say, but even then we don't want to discuss that here. In every society, more than one stratification system exists, which implies the multi-dimensional pattern of inequality that you understood. That when I say society means what we see in the class, we can simply take it as society. It's a sample size, right? We have students from different region, different language, and all these can be considered as a sample of society. So open system, income means class system, closed system, caste system. Okay, guys. There are no stratification systems which are perfectly open or perfectly closed. That's what I've told you. Even though this is considered as theoretically open, but practically there are issues. A gap exists between what is normatively acceptable and what is a structural reality. What you see in book and what is a theory and what is a practicality is different. For example, class system is considered as open, but not completely. There are practical hindrances. Similarly, caste is considered as closed, but you have stratification, Sanskritization, hypergamy, hypogamy. There are avenues for mobility. Then these are different types of stratification, can be identified on the basis of different dimension. So based on age set system. Guys, this detailed discussion, I think around 250 words on this I have given. Please read that. Whatever thinkers, whatever content is required, it is given. Video is also attached to that. What are the different stratas? Old and young. Closed system. Okay, age is open or closed? See here, we have, let's say, 18 to 22, this is one group. 22 to 30, this is another group. 30 to, let's say, 35 is another group. Can you move from this to this after 2 to 3 years? Yes, right? Can you move from here to here? Movement is there. So is it open or closed? Movement is possible. Open or closed? Can you move like this? Like this? No, right? We need two-way movement. But guys, again, there are discussions and debates which are going on this, but we will take it as closed. How we will say at this moment, you might have studied the stock and flow concept in economy, right? Do you guys know this stock flow concept? Stock means at this moment. Like if I ask you what is there in your pocket, you will say 1,000 rupee or 2,000 rupee. That's in my pocket. That is a stock concept. Or what is a stock in the go down? At this moment, what is there? So at this moment, you are here, not possible to move. Flow concept means income, like yearly income, monthly income. That's a flow concept. Okay, so I hope you understood this point. We will consider it as closed. Let's not get into any other discussion. Slave system. The dimension is ownership. Master slave, theoretically open, because you get the ownership, you will be moved towards master. This we will discuss in detail in Marx, Karl Marx. Estate system also will discuss in Marx. Dimension, ownership of land, different strata, landlords, clergy, serf, theoretically open. Class system, the dimension is income, occupation, education, strata, upper, middle, lower. Open system. Caste system, ritual occupation, Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, closed system. Racial stratification, the biological characteristics, that's a dimension. Different races, it's a closed system. It's declared illegal. Ethnic stratification, ethnicity, culture, we will be discussing on this separately. Okay. And when we have the answer writing session, then also I will be taking up all these things and we'll discuss that. Gender stratification, gender, closed. So we will be studying the thinkers that you can add here so that you can complete your answer. So guys, before next session, what I want you to do is take up the C4 module from answer writing program and then complete this area, because we will be dealing with the theories from the next session. And the third session, I'll be talking about social mobility. and also complete the videos which are attached with this module, like exclusion, poverty, hierarchy. Complete that. You have 2 days, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday we will meet. Okay, now it's open to you guys. Any doubts you have, you can ask me. All right. Okay, guys, we'll stop here. Religion, no. Religion is also no, right? If you consider religion, then that will create a lot of problem. That lead to communalism, fundamental communalism and issues, right? We can't say one is superior over the other, right? So, guys, take that logic. Difference between sex is a biological difference. When I say gender, it's a social difference. Like what I've told you. So when we discuss stratification, we discuss gender stratification. We don't say sex stratification. The gender involved that inequality. Gender involved that values which are attached to that. Okay, so that's the difference. Sex is a natural difference. No, just see for you ignore the theories and social mobility part. Read these concepts which I've discussed. Okay, just read this section, this first one, concepts that you can see here. This one. Okay, guys. So see you on Monday, guys.